Thank you, Dean, Assistant Dean, Michael, our professors at Kasi, everyone who works at Kasi, our families and friends here today, and my fellow classmates, MP, A2, even though I've never met you. So yeah, I'm so happy that we're all here together today. So I grew up in Northeast India. I love my country, I love my scenic state and the city in which I was born. But every single day, I was impacted by the types of problems that governments are formed to solve. Terrible roads, a lack of poorly functioning government, which appeared disengaged from the public, except during elections, when grand promises were made to voters. I was deeply affected seeing people standing in line waiting for water at public pump stations because they didn't have running water in their homes. They would wait for hours early in the morning for the pumps to operate briefly. I often wondered, what would they do if they accidentally spilled their buckets on their way home? Some of my earliest questions to my dad were, why can't the town government do something about this or that problem? I never starved, but I saw people starving. People needed to be fed. Something needed to be done. I felt that in my bones. But feeding them today doesn't mean they will have food on their table tomorrow. I remember educating myself to better understand what I could do, to not only put food on their table today, but empower people to put their own food on the table every single day into the future. And that is where I learned that public policies could and should be made. And since then, I have strived to not just temporarily fix a problem, but work towards strategizing a policy that will be carried out and have a lasting effect. It was always my dream to attend a university in the United States of America, but the reality of studying here has far exceeded my expectations. To have such wonderfully engaged professors, such challenging courses, to be expected to regularly think outside the box, to be expected to challenge your professors, to meet helpful and caring people in administrative departments. This atmosphere of higher learning, where a student's growth as a whole person is paramount, has been beyond a dream come true, if such a thing is possible. In my 2017 statement of purpose, I said it was time to take my raw emotions and learn the nuts and bolts of making public policy. The Kasi School of Public Policy has indeed given me the knowledge, skills, and the tools required to enter the field of policy and make the kinds of changes that the world needs right now. In this program, I have not only learned how public policy is made and implemented, but how it is done in the United States, the model of dynamic democracy whose policies can affect the whole world. Sarah Rosen Wartel, president of Urban Institute, who we met in Washington, D.C., said to us, look for the character of the person rather than just saying, I want to be him or her. That statement really resonates with me. We can easily say, I want to become this or that, him or her, work here or there, but it is the individual character traits of the inspiring people I have met at Kasi that I want to take with me and emulate as I strive to be a successful change maker. I certainly suffered no lack of enthusiasm, faith, and determination when I arrived here, but I gained immeasurably in other traits such as decisiveness, diligence, discernment, endurance, justice, thoroughness, and wisdom. My summer internship in Washington, D.C. in 2018, working for the American Immigration Lawyers Association, AILA, was an exciting and enriching time, and I want to return to that fast-paced environment. My first exposure to Washington, D.C. came during the Kasi School's January colloquium, where we met the top people at think tanks, government agencies, political parties, embassies, and more. This program by the Kasi School, providing us intensive exposure to change makers, was an extraordinary experience. To have a contact list like Michael Edwinger's, now that is a character trait I want to emulate. I have developed a passion for foreign policy. My capstone policy analysis examined ways to reduce the risk of conflict in the most dangerous place where shared water resources are being argued by two nuclear-armed adversary nations. The Kasi School Capstone project is designed to leverage us into employment in our field, and I'm excited about the possibilities contained in this document that the Kasi School helped me craft. And what an amazing time to be entering the field of public policy and public administration. Such extraordinary challenges. Genies we thought had been contained have been released from the portal. Democracy is challenged. Alternatives to theories to truth and facts are proposed. Climate change, income inequality, mass extinctions, public death, having to do more with less, exertion of bipartisanship, accountability, ethics, and transparency. We are very brave to be taking on such big public problems. But I know we are all very passionate and we truly want to effect positive change. In addition, we are well armed with what we have learned here at Kasi. I realized at ALA that every employment or volunteer position can be rewarding and meaningful when you are in the good fight to make better policy or to reverse bad policy, or to provide excellent public services and manage the public's money for the common good. So I will be just as enthusiastic to work for the town of Exeter as I will be working again for ALA. So no matter the size of the fight you are in, the fight for justice, equality, fairness, and the common good is a noble endeavor. We have studied and debated and taken tests together. We have critiqued each other's papers. Now it is time for us to cheer on each other, to be on each other's contact list, to return each other's calls, to encourage each other when we are down, and to pass along items of information we think others might find useful, and to stay in touch with and support the Kasi School. So whether you are a state representative, work as a town manager, are involved in health or labor policies and negotiations, manage a non-profit, deliver government services, or your interests lie in gun control, or mentoring young people to be civically engaged, we are all here to make change, to be fierce advocates for good and necessary change, to be accountable, to be great leaders and public servants, to be the best that we can be, and in turn make our communities the best that they can be. So I wish you all the greatest successes in all your endeavors. Thank you.